Hello and welcome. My name is Jonathan and welcome to the Paprika Elf Video Store. Today we're going to be talking about all the movies that I bought in the month of January of 2026. I'm not going to be reviewing the movies, however, I will be talking about whether I saw them, what I think of the packaging, and where I got them. The first set of movies that I got was the Mothra trilogy from Sony. I got this at Half Price Books, and I was very excited to find this because these movies are out of print. And I had seen the movies on streaming on YouTube. However, I did want to get them in my own collection, and most of the times when I was looking for them on eBay, they were about $100 to $150. So I was very excited to find this for about $45 at Half Price Books. And I have watched them all again on Blu-ray. They do look great. I like these movies. I know some people think they're pretty cheesy, but I think they're pretty fun. Second movie is Hard Boiled by John Woo from the Shout Hong Kong Classics line. I have not watched this yet, but I have always wanted to see more of John Woo's filmography. I've seen Gemini Man and Mission Impossible 2. I think those are the only two that I've seen off the top of my head. And so when I heard that Shout Studios was doing the Hong Kong Classics line, I thought this is a great time to check out more of these movies. And I know that The Killer used to be in the Criterion Collection. I believe Hard Boiled was as well. So I was certainly aware of those two films from that. Like I said, haven't watched it yet, but I do look forward to checking it out soon. I got Deep Blue Sea, the Arrow Video Chunky box set. I haven't actually watched it yet. I did watch this on streaming, and I liked the movie. I'm looking forward to checking it out again. I got that one from Hamilton Book, and I also got Hard Boiled from Hamilton Book too. If you're not aware of Hamilton Book yet, and you live in the United States, it seems to be a company that sells overstock, or they get special deals, and often their prices are pretty decent. Even they have some selected new stuff from Vinegar Syndrome, Arrow, Radiance. I think the prices are usually pretty good. They may not be as good as some of the best sales, but they're usually better than the average price. So definitely worth checking out. I got the House with Laughing Windows chunky box set. I got this from Barnes & Noble during one of their sales. I haven't watched it yet, but I've been getting more into giallo films, and I am looking forward to seeing that. I got Dario Argento's Cat o' Nine Tails. Have not seen this one either. I did get the Bird with the Crystal Plumage in, I think it was November, December of last year, and I have watched that. I did really like that, so I'm looking forward to checking out this one as well. Got Dark Water. I have seen that from Arrow Video. Really nice release there. And I got that one also from Barnes & Noble during their Arrow sale. I got Swimming Pool on DVD. This is a movie that only has the DVD in the US. I believe Studio Canal put out a Blu-ray. I think it's Region B. You know, I would get this movie again if they released it on Blu-ray because I did enjoy it. The reason I actually wanted to get this movie is I watched the, I think it's 1964 or 65 Swimming Pool, the one that's in the Criterion Collection. I wondered if this was a remake of that. I don't think it really is. There are some elements that are kind of similar. I'll go more into this when I talk about movies that I watched, but I enjoyed this one, and I would get it. I would upgrade it to Blu-ray if they did that. It looks like it was released by Focus in the US, so hopefully Universal puts out a Blu-ray for that. I got Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I've seen this movie many times. I'd seen it quite a few times on streaming, and I need to get this. I need to get it in my collection. So in one of the Groove sales, I purchased that. I got Woman of the Hour. This is a movie that I'm trying to remember. I think it was on Netflix in the US. I'm not sure if it actually got a US release, but this was released by VVS. They're a distribution company in Canada, And I've noticed that they put out a lot of movies on Blu-ray that sometimes are not even released in the US. For example, the A24 film Y2K. I feel like I was one of the only people that actually really enjoyed that movie. The only place in the world that it was released on Blu-ray was Canada through VVS. So I had to order that one through eBay. I know that VVS also did the movie Subservience, the one I think that's also on Netflix with Megan Fox playing the android. And I think that did get a Blu-ray release in the US, but it might be out of print now. In any case, VVS does a lot of movies in Canada, including a lot of A24 films. I'm actually wondering if they will do Death of Robin Hood because I'm afraid that A24 won't release that on physical because it didn't do very well. It also seems like they didn't even give it a chance in theaters. Where I live in the Twin Cities, the second week I couldn't find it anywhere close to me. It was already out of theaters, so maybe it didn't do well, but it also seemed like they didn't give it a chance. If A24 doesn't do a physical release in the States, I'm going to check to see if VVS does one and I'll import it from Canada. I got the Ring trilogy, also from Hamilton Book. I had watched one before. I've watched them all since. Really good quality presentation through Shout did this trilogy. And I also got Escape from New York through Groove. I had seen this one on streaming. I actually had Escape from LA on Blu-ray, but I hadn't gotten this one yet. I was going to go through the movies again, so I got this. Really enjoyed it. From the Severin Films website, I got Vampiros Lesbos. I really like the cover art. You can definitely see where the movie Anora got its inspiration. I did pay a little extra for this version with the slipcover because I liked how it looked. I have seen that since I got it. I got this is from my local library. They occasionally will sell overstock movies or movies that they're removing from the collection for 50 cents to $1. And I got quite a few of those. I got Moonlight. Haven't seen that yet. Do want to. I got Midnighters. Haven't seen that one yet either. I got I Know What You Did Last Summer, which I will see, but I haven't seen I Still Know What You Did yet, so I gotta watch that first. Got Rudy Gilman, Teenage Kraken. I put this on for the kids. I didn't watch it, so I really can't speak to it myself, but the kids seem to enjoy it. And also from the library sale, I got Woman in the Yard. Don't know much about it. Know that it's a kind of a Blumhouse slow burn. But again, for 50 cents, I'm willing to try it. Got The Killer from Hamilton Book. And again, also through Shout Studio Line. Unfortunately, they aren't all in this hard box set with the discs and a little booklet. But it's nice. I would love if they did more of their movies this way. It's just so sturdy. And finally, from Hamilton Book, I got on DVD Clouseau, the early works. I'd watched Diabolique. I really enjoyed that. And I thought about checking out more of his stuff. The Blu-ray of these, the Kino, was about $30 when I checked, and this was $3. So I thought, well, worth it to try for $3. If I find I really love these, then I can, consider upgrading. But if it's something where, oh, it's interesting to see, but I'm not really sure how many more times I'm going to watch it, I may just be fine with the DVD. I'm perfectly okay with DVD for certain things. In fact, I still have a lot of DVDs in my collection that I haven't upgraded. I'm slowly upgrading them, but it's always that fine line you walk between upgrading and getting new things. I say most of the time I favor getting new things, but you will see some upgrades that I do from time to time. And that's all I had for January. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day.